want to come to y'all really quick. I'm not going to keep y'all for long. And I just want to share with y'all a struggle of mine. It's been a struggle in the past. And from time to time, it's something that I struggle with, and that's forgiveness. Forgiveness is so hard. It's very, very hard. And I think what makes forgiveness even harder is when the person that wronged you, that caused you pain, doesn't issue an apology or doesn't recognize or doesn't care that they hurt you. So for me, when unforgiveness for me went unsolved, and when that apology was never issued to me, the apology that I knew that I deserved, it turned into bitterness, and bitterness for me turned into resentment. And so that festered inside of me, and it created an unexplainable feeling every time I talked to that person or looked at them, or if something came about that reminded me of that person. It just put a bad taste in my mouth. It just made me just feel emotionally sick, mentally sick, and sometimes physically sick. But I come to tell y'all, it's it's freedom in forgiveness. It's power in forgiveness. It's deliverance in forgiveness. And forgiveness is a requirement, especially for the Christian and those that's following God. It's a requirement, and it's also extremely important to forgive. It's a saying out there: forgiveness is for you and not for the person, which I do agree with that saying as well. But I think on both sides of the spectrum, according to the Bible and according to our God, that we have to forgive because He forgave us. And I had to be taught that, and that had to really resonate and sink in my mind that, okay, who are you not to forgive A, B, C, or D because he or she harmed you? Yes, it does not take away the pain that they caused, and the tears that you shed that you felt went unnoticed. It went unnoticed by those who hurt you, but it didn't go unnoticed by God. Okay, that's who matters. So who am I to sit there and hold a grudge and not forgive, no matter how harmful and how painful it was? Because baby, it gets painful, and I think forgiveness for me was so painful, because the people that was attached to that hurt was who I loved and whom I loved the most. These were people I bend over backwards and did bend over backwards for. These was people that I would give my last for. These were people that stayed in my home, that rode in my car, that shared everyday conversations with me. So it was even more hard to forget these people, because for me it was like, how dare you? How could you? I loved you. How it's me, it's Lachelle. Like, how can you treat me like this? How can you do me like this? How can you not issue me an apology? So I think that's how hard it was for me, and that's what resonated in me was like, I'm not finna forgive them because they hurt me. They hurt me to my core. If they can just put themselves in my shoes and see how much they hurt me, then maybe they'll understand. But again, that takes me back to God, and when we sin, how much we hurt Him, but He forgave us. So who am I to not forgive he or she that wronged me? Okay, so it's a requirement. God requires for us to forgive. It's freedom, like I said, in forgiveness. Um, as liberty and forgiveness, and bitterness and forgiveness. Unforgiveness keeps you from flying. It keeps you from going into the purpose and walking into the path that God has set for you. And you don't never want that. You don't want delayed blessings. You get what I'm saying? God can be have a door that's waiting for you, but because you still holding on to that past pain, because you still holding on to that past hurt, he's not, the door's not going to be open, and you're going to be stuck right there. And it's consuming, y'all. It's consuming. It's so consuming. While you sitting there crying and you sitting there dwelling on the past, you sitting there reminiscing on all the pain or all the hurt, which is true. You feel that. It's a true feeling. It's a true emotion. These people are out there living their best lives. They're out there living. They're moving along with their lives. And so sometimes, and this goes for me, what I had to recognize and wake up to, we have to start living with the apologies that we never got. We have to accept that we may never get an apology. Some people may feel like, I don't care. That's her. That's him. That's their problem. And we have to learn how to be okay with that. And I know as selfish as that sound, that's how some people are. And we can't change them, we can't control them. And I mean, don't even try, don't even put your mindset there. All you can do is control yourself. And I want you to find freedom, I want you to find deliverance, and I want you to definitely find healing in the power of forgiveness. But forgiveness and reconciliation is two different things. Forgive somebody, but that don't mean that you have to go to being with that person again, regardless if that was a relationship, regardless if that was a friendship, a co-worker, no matter who it is. You can forgive somebody and still move on with your life, because it's freedom in that, it's deliverance, and it's healing in that. So again, I just wanted to share that message with you guys that um, if you're struggling to forgive, go into prayer. I always tell y'all to go to our Heavenly Father, go into prayer and ask Him for the strength in the areas of your weaknesses, and ask Him for deliverance. And it's not going to be an easy thing. It's not going to be overnight. It ain't going to be one prayer you say and then the next morning you're going to be relieved. You know, it's going to be triggers. It's going to be movies that may pop up. It might be a phone number, a picture, or something that's going to remind you. But you got to keep working on it. You got it in you. God already placed it in you. You just need help with it. You just need help in the area of forgiveness, and He will place His strength in you to forgive these people. Look, genuinely forgive them. So when you see them, you can wave at them in a grocery store. If you see them in a grocery store, and not run or roll your eyes, you know, you can wave. You know, so I just wanted to share that message with y'all, and I hope that that resonate with somebody that may be struggling in that area of forgiveness. So I hope and pray that each and every one of you continue to have a blessed day. Until next time, may God bless.